Welcome to our online self-defense class. Today you will learn some basics that will help to keep you safe online. The internet is like a giant city. Most cities are generally safe, however, just like in any real city, there are some dangerous dark alleys that we need to avoid in order to keep our online data and computers protected. We lock our homes because we have things inside that we don't want anyone else to have access to or steal. Creating a strong password is like having a unique key and lock to your house. You want to make sure that no one else knows your password and that it is strong enough to keep your information safe. Every website account that you use or have online should have a different password. Otherwise, if someone figures out your password, they will have gained access to every account you are a part of on the internet. To make a strong password, you want to make sure that the total password is at least 12 characters long. To get to that password length, start by thinking of at least 5 random letters. Make sure you do not place 2 of the same letter side by side. Make a couple of the letters uppercase, and most importantly, do not use a real word. To make it easier to remember, try thinking of a sentence and use only the first letter of each word. For example, if you use the sentence, "I love visiting the library," you will choose the letters I, L, V, T, and L. To make the password even stronger, add a mix of numbers and symbols in between the letters. This will make the password look like a bunch of random characters, resulting in a password that would be hard for anyone to guess. Remember that some websites will give you password requirements. They might tell you to use 1 uppercase letter, 1 special symbol, and 1 number. You will have to follow these rules in order to create an account on that website. Pause the video to read over these tips for creating and managing your passwords. Two-factor authentication is important to turn on whenever available. For accounts that hold a lot of our personal information, we want to make sure we're the only one with access. Two-factor authentication means that just entering a password on the computer is not enough. For example, when someone enters a password on a computer, a text message will be sent to the user to verify their identity. Most often you will receive a code that will then have to be entered on the computer in order to gain access. Cyber attacks have been on the rise in recent years. There are many different types of cyber attacks that people can fall victim to. Whether it be a suspicious email asking for passwords or personal information getting hacked from large companies, everyone is at risk. Today we'll learn about how to avoid phishing attacks and how to prevent your computer or phone from getting infected with malware. Phishing is the attempt to obtain sensitive information such as usernames, passwords, and credit card details, often for malicious reasons, by disguising as someone trustworthy in electronic communication. It is one of the most effective ways that hackers can gain access to accounts and computers. Phishing is often disguised as a suspicious email or fake alert on a website to make your computer appear to be infected. If you receive an email with an attachment or if a website prompts you to download a file, do not download the file unless you know what the file is and be sure that it comes from a trusted website. Only enter personal information on trusted websites that use HTTPS in the address bar. The S stands for secure. It means all communications between your browser and the website are encrypted. The most important thing to remember when dealing with phishing is to listen to your gut. For example, you receive an email from a friend asking you to download a file attachment and then to open it, but the wording is off and there are misspellings. More often than not, this is a phishing email. When dealing with suspicious emails, always remember, when in doubt, throw it out. Always verify that the person is who they say they are by using a different communication method before responding. If a message is from a business or someone you don't know, consider why you might be receiving it. Most businesses don't just email out of the blue asking you to change account information. If you get a message like that, never download an attachment or click on the link. Log into that account from the website like normal to see if there are any prompts to change your information. Here's an example of a phishing email trying to look like Amazon.com. It is asking you to accept a $100 gift card by clicking a link that will most likely direct you to a website asking for a credit card number and/or a password. If you accept their offer, you've just handed over all your personal account information to a hacker. As mentioned before, phishing can also come in the form of making someone afraid something bad has happened to their computer. They will prompt users to call for help right away. This picture shows how sophisticated phishing is today. Creating panic, the alert prompts the user to call a fake tech support number for help. However, this tech support will not help the person, but instead steal their data, payment info, and perhaps even lock the computer, making it unusable. Malware means malicious software, or in other words, programs designed to harm your computer. These programs have many names such as viruses, worms, Trojan horses, ransomware, and spyware. All of these types of malware act differently, and they have different end goals. Usually, these are installed on your computer by downloading attachments and emails. If you open an email and don't know what the attachment is, do not download it. Malware can also be downloaded by clicking on advertisement links or visiting unfamiliar websites. One type of malware that is gaining in popularity is called ransomware. Ransomware holds your information hostage. Attackers will lock all of your files and require you to pay them in order to regain access. Ransomware usually targets businesses and governments, so watch out for suspicious emails at work. Listen to your gut. If it feels wrong, report it. To avoid losing access to your data to ransomware, it is a good idea to back up your data every week to an external flash drive or hard drive. To protect your computer from malware, it is good to have an antivirus program. Antivirus programs run in the background and shield your computer from internet attacks. Here are some recommendations for companies that offer free antivirus software. None of these are 100% guarantees, but installing and keeping the software updated regularly is very important. Remember, you are the best resistance to getting infected. Just like we wash our hands and take our multivitamin to stay healthy, we have to not visit untrusted websites or download anything from online that we are unfamiliar with. Smartphone safety is important. For many of us, they've become a critical part of our everyday lives. We use them to get directions, check our email, take photos of our family, pay bills, cash checks, and do online shopping. These devices have our most sensitive personal information on them, which make them prime targets for attackers. Let's talk about ways you can keep your smartphone information safe. A great first step in securing your phone is becoming familiar with and adjusting your settings. We want to learn more about our security settings, app permissions, and location settings. Navigating to the settings will vary from phone to phone, but these gear icons will point you to the right spot. The Android icon is on the left, and the iOS icon for settings is on the right side of the screen. Some of the settings you can adjust are the security of the phone, app permissions, and location function. These can be viewed or modified while you are using the phone. Security settings on a smartphone could include enabling a locked password, fingerprint, or facial ID to securely unlock a phone for use. Some apps also have an option to set a password that would need to be typed in prior to use. You also want to make sure you are updating your phone's operating system and apps regularly. Having the latest version means protecting yourself from security vulnerabilities a company has identified. Lastly, Apple and Android both offer a security measure to remotely locate and lock your phone in case it is lost or stolen. These security measures even have the option to permanently erase your phone so no one can steal your personal information from it. When downloading apps from an app store, the developer of the app typically lists what permissions it will need to use on the phone. Don't give these apps an all-access pass to your information. On both Android and iOS, you can look at each app individually and decide what information you are comfortable giving access. For example, a game of solitaire does not need to access your contact lists and text messages. Go through each app individually and turn on or off permissions. Remember, some apps do need certain permissions to function. If you do not give Instagram permission to access your photos, then you can't upload your phone's photos to the app. Think about what makes sense for the purpose of that particular app and only give it permission to access those pieces of information. Location settings are very important. Some apps like Google Maps or Waze need to know your exact location to help you get to your destination, but Candy Crush does not. On Android and Apple, you can adjust what apps have access to your location to tighten your privacy. If you have Wi-Fi at home with a password, then you can feel pretty comfortable that no one else is able to access your information. Public Wi-Fi is different. Anytime you sign on to a public network at a coffee shop or downtown, limit what you do. Do not do your banking or purchase items online. There is a chance that someone could be snooping in on what you are doing. If you would like help to make your devices more secure, contact Jeff Seebold, our Technology Training Services Coordinator, today.